I did not send or receive any information that was marked classified at the time.
From the group of 30,000 emails returned to the State Department in 2014, 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received.
At the time.
At the time they were sent or received.
A Facebook ad from Donald Trump interposing yesterday's comments by FBI Director Jim Comey with some of the explanations from Hillary Clinton, and the discrepancy is obvious. We welcome your phone calls at 1-877-NEWSMAX, 1-877-639-7629, and joining us from Newsmax, Washington, the famed columnist for The Hill and the former aide to United States Senator Lloyd Bentsen, Brent Budowsky. Brent, thanks for your time on this expanded edition of Newsmax Prime. Just got to ask you, obviously you're seeing things from the left side of the aisle, but Hillary, despite evading prosecution, has come up on the short end of the stick in terms of the courtroom of public opinion, has she not?
Oh, I don't think there's any question that the email issue continues to hurt. I don't think it's fatal, but no doubt about it. What I will say, though, is that my column in The Hill tomorrow is about Clinton needs a Kennedy moment. And what I mean by that, and I begin by criticizing her Atlantic City performance today, Americans want to hear something that neither candidate is talking about, how their economic lives will be better, how they will live their lives. I don't hear Donald talking about it. I don't hear Hillary talking about it. I don't think most Americans give a rat's behind about the emails at this point. They want to know why their wages are declining, why jobs are being exported, what we're going to do about those things. And that is what the campaign is going to be about. What you're seeing now is a dog and pony show of spin by both sides, neither one of which is addressing, as I write tomorrow in The Hill, what the American people really want. Robert Kennedy got it right in 1968, and I link a speech he gave to make the point where he appealed to white male ethnics, and he also appealed to minorities. And that's what America needs, somebody that will remember that we are a shared community with a common interest, and how to create jobs, how to raise wages, how to get lower quality health care or lower price health care. That's what it's all about. It's not about name calling.
Well, sure, and I appreciate your efforts to elevate the tone of the campaign and look forward to reading your column tomorrow in The Hill. But let's acknowledge something. Number one, HRC ain't no RFK. As a matter of fact, she's depending on BHO to help her WIN. And it's pretty tough right now to separate and point out the failure, the fact that over we just heard Donald Trump talk about 59% of young African American men are unemployed. To make that change, to talk the way you're talking without criticizing the current administration, because Hillary is thinking, and I think a lot of Democrats want to see this, although from my perspective it'd be bad news, in essence, a third Obama term.
Well, you got to read my column, because that's in my first sentence.
Well, great minds think alike. Yeah.
Americans don't want a third Obama term. There's no doubt about it. Whatever you think of Barack Obama, what Americans want is change. And the truth is, Hillary's no RFK. Robert Kennedy, that is true. Donald Trump in Ronald Reagan. Ask Michael Reagan about that. I agree with Michael on that. And we're going to get, right now, the lesser of the evils. What I'm urging is one of the candidates, in my case, Hillary Clinton, to stand up for what Americans want. Not to go to Atlantic City and act like a campaign prop in a negative ad attacking Donald Trump. That's not what she needs to be doing now. And Donald Trump putting out videos about the emails, that's not what he needs to be doing now. That's why most Americans think this whole campaign is a pile of garbage, and they don't like either one of them. And whoever will win will be the candidate who answers what Americans want to know. How are their lives going to be made better? Their jobs, their wages, their health care, their neighborhoods, their communities, and their safety.
And
that's
one
the
thing
point I'm making in the column, and again today.
We're going to be reading it at thehill.com. Now, making our life better tonight in our remaining time in this expanded edition, from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, via telephone, we welcome Maggie to this expanded edition of Newsmax Prime. Hiya, Maggie.
Hi, JD. I wanted really to call when Dick Morris was on because I agreed with him that Trump's talking about himself too much.
Well, probably Brent Budowsky would agree with him. I think you might have it unanimous in terms of the message. But go ahead.
Another thing I wanted to ask Dick Morris was, why don't some of these people find out what Billy Boy promised Loretta Lynch whenever he probably promised her a Supreme Court seat?
Well, let's turn to Brent Budowsky, because you got to admit, Brent, and I appreciate you're appealing to the better angels in all our natures, but politics ain't beanbag. And to the extent you sell, stick with me on this, Brent, a negative blue sky, the mind in terms of setting up what went on in that meeting between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch, it does set up, I would say, a target-rich environment for Donald Trump, does it not?
Of course it does. It was obviously a bad move. There's no doubt about it. The emails were obviously a mistake, no doubt about it. And it'll hurt Hillary. Just like Donald Trump praising Saddam Hussein yesterday ain't going to help him. My point, though, and I'm not doing this because I'm an angel. I'm doing this because I want to win elections and I know how to do it after 20 years with Democratic leaders. You have to talk about what people care about in their lives. The name calling, the garbage, the slime, the slop from both sides. They don't want to see Hillary Clinton impersonating a negative television ad in Atlantic City. They don't want to see Donald Trump praising Saddam Hussein and insulting Republicans and Democrats alike. They want to know who is going to be on their side to improve their lives. Not because I'm a nice guy, because I'm not a nice guy.
Yeah, you're just a great guy, and you're such a great guy. With a minute and a half remaining, we're going to take another phone call from Garden City, New York. Here's Marcia. Marcia, you got a minute. Make it count.
Okay, JD, wonderful. What I want to say is I'm with Dick on this. He needs to get on point, and also with your guest now, that, he needs to start getting on point. For instance, here's something he can start doing. And we've heard this line before, but it works. Do you feel safer than you did 8 years ago? Do you feel more secure? Do you have a better job than you did 8 years ago? Was there ISIS 8 years ago? Well, Hillary Clinton wants to continue on the same path that Barack Obama has. And by the way, and then make points, what am I going to do as Donald Trump to address these issues?
Pivot from setting up that dynamic. And Brent, it sounds almost Reagan-esque, does Marcia's notion. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? That closing argument in the 1980 debate. 20 seconds for your comment, Brent.
No, I agree with Marcia entirely. The only thing I would add is, how are you going to be better 4 years from now? That's what the people want to hear from the candidates, not the name calling and not the nonsense. They want to hear who's going to be better for their lives, their families, their country, and their community.
And Brent Budowsky, you have made this a better program tonight with your perspective, albeit from the other side of the aisle. We appreciate it. That will do it for this portion of our expanded edition of Newsmax Prime. But don't go far. About a 30-second break, and we shall return with more. For now, in the next half minute, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.